G'day guys, something a bit different today. I'm going to do a video response to Shut the Gates, who did a 2021 preview for the Penrith Panthers. Now they have done more as well, so if you want to see any of those, let me know and I'll go through those as well. I've been subscribed to these guys for a while. I actually quite like their content. You know, they sit on the couch and it's very conversational, which is really good. Anyway, I won't waffle on too much. I got my tea, so we'll get straight into it.
Shut the Gates, we're back. We're doing all the team previews for the NRL 2021 season. We're going from 16 to 1, and we're up to the final one. The Penrith Panthers, the minor premiers from last year, grand finalists. They left their run too late in the grand final last year, but they very could have easily won it if they played like in the first half like they did the second half.
That's right.
But just...
Yes, Ivan, how about that bench? Ivan, it wasn't the only thing that lost us the game. There's a multitude of factors. But Brett Naden came on and was insane. Like when it came to attacking football, he's heaps better. I know May was put out there for defensive issues, but the fact of the matter is you don't go 17 in a row and then go, you know what? I'm going to freak out at the last minute because I'm playing the Storm. The moment you do that, the Storm are going to beat you. They're too good for it. Just stick with it. And May's better off the bench anyway. And since he did his knee a couple of years ago, even though he's a big body, he hasn't run hard anymore. I don't think he's got the confidence to have that hard running sentimentality anymore.
It's too little too late. Toby, what do you think this year? They've lost a couple. They've lost, they've lost Caleb Aikens, Jack Hetherington, which I think that, he was at Warriors for most of the year, but I thought he should have stayed there. I thought he was pretty good. They lost Josh Mansour, Dane Laurie, James Tama.
Why did you say that name? Seriously, it's so triggering every time someone says Josh Mansour. You never expect a guy like that to play at another club. Like seeing him in a South jersey was just, I don't know, triggering is definitely the word for it. But there is a lot said on him and how the timing was really bad. When it comes down to it, though, there's not really much else you can do. I mean, you tell him earlier in the season, and then you get the same problems where everyone's accusing the club of ruining his 2020. You tell him too late, and he can't find a good deal for himself. So, I guess it's kind of like a breakup. What do? You're never going to be a good time. But that time right then, because the COVID break had pushed all the football back, the grand final which would normally be 3 or 4 weeks before the November deadline when players can start negotiating contracts. It fell within a week. So, just by accident, by circumstance, it was a bit crap. At least he's able to further his career because I do believe he can contribute to the club. It's just now we're better balanced having Ryan Toto and Dylan Edwards, who are both power running in the back three. We'll start our sets and then round it out with Charlie Staines, who's an out-and-out speedster with the skills of a fullback. And I can't talk properly today, so that's cool. English is hard.
Zane Tedavano, and a couple of other lesser known players. How do you think they're going to go this year?
Yeah, mate. I've got them in the four. I've got them second.
Second, okay.
I like this guy. He's clearly the leader.
Yep.
The best thing that they did last year. It's going to be interesting to see as well without Trent Barrett.
Yep.
How they're attacking.
That's my biggest question for them.
Yeah, how their structures line up this year. But the best thing about
just on that, Trent Barrett gets a lot of credit for our attack. You can't undersell as well, understate how much Happy Coruscant made a difference for years. Go and talk to any Penrith fans and I'll tell you the same thing. Dummy half, huge weakness. Wade Egan had huge raps on him, but never really found that potential. I guess like a lot of guys do. They look good coming up through the grades and don't really hit it at NRL level. And I think he was injured a bit with his shoulder and stuff on and off as well. So hopefully for the Warriors he kicks on. But yeah, a bit 50-50 with that. Trent Barrett had some hand in it. The roster had some hand in it. The recruiting. So we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Wishful thinking.
Their team last year was the patience that they played with. That the attack, the way they would move the ball, they would always, especially in that inside 20 zone, that they would turn the ball under, they would play inside.
Yeah.
They just use shape, and everyone was constantly moving. They were the best.
Clearly the more intelligent and good looking of the pair.
Team by an absolute country mile last year. They shouldn't have I feel sorry that they didn't win it,
Yeah.
but you need to win the grand final.
They're the Golden State Warriors of the NRL.
Yeah.
73 and 9.
Yeah.
And they went, what did they go, 20 and 1? 19 and 1? Oh, no, 18, 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Right? So they just lost against Parramatta. Well, no big deal, but.
Yeah.
But, but anyway, I've actually got them 7th.
Yeah,
I think
right.
7th. Holy crap. That is a big drop. Now, I've said myself in my season preview one, whatever you want to call it, video, that everyone's going to improve to a degree. So I'm probably going to retract that a little bit for the Dragons. I think McInnes getting injured is going to absolutely massacre their season. He's their best player by far. But that's a long way to fall. Like I can see teams like Raiders, South. I'm picking South for my minor premiership, by the way. Storm, Roosters. The teams are going to be up there. You know but that bottom half of the top 8, whether they'll have enough improvement to take over what is a top 4 team. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to win 17 in a row again. Obviously, that'd be ridiculous to think that. Just head in the cloud stuff, but 7th is a long way down. I could see a drop at worst to maybe 5th, something like that. You know, if the other teams, without all the injuries from last year, a bit of improvement, even if we play well, I can see us dropping down to 5th or whatever. But 7th is a very, very long way down. There's a few teams that would have to improve by orders of magnitude to get there.
I think it's a bit of a drop off.
Wow.
Because I think they were the best team last year, but can you back it up? Best team last year? And because they were the benchmark. Whether you like them, you hate them, whatever, they were the benchmark last year. They were the best team last year.
Definitely.
Even though they weren't the best team on the day to win the grand final, Melbourne were, but they were the best team all year, bar none.
Yep.
Bar none. They should, and you know, teams are going to be stunning them. They're going to be known, it's very rare that you see a team go from first and keep that continuance up.
Yeah.
Of course not. It'd be ridiculous to think that now people are going to be sleeping on the Panthers. The other teams are going to be going, right, they had a good year. We've got to look out for them. What happened? As I said, you're not going to go 17 in a row again. It's not possible. But at the same time, that's still a big drop. Like, there's a difference between coming back into the pack, having a realistic season compared to almost completely just throwing a season away. There's a big difference.
Every other team's got better, and I'm not sure if they've got better. Can they get better? Like, I don't know.
Yes, they can, in a sense of the roster's actually a lot more well-rounded now. We're very top-heavy, and what I mean by that is we actually had a lot of forward depth, but our backs weren't that great. We were like Tyrone May played at centre multiple times in the year, and not just at the end through the season. If you go back into the regular season games, there were a few times he had to play in the centre, back row, whatever. He was just filling in all over the place. Whereas now we've lost, some experience, which you'll mention later. I've already seen the video, but I've forgotten quite a lot of it because I'm so tired. The kids at home. Yeah, but what they've done is they've removed a couple of big name guys and then used that salary cap to spread out the roster better. So we have an injury in our backs. We've got guys, Eisenhuth and Jennings and guys who have NRL experience who can come in. Whereas last year we were debuting, complete rookies. Charlie Staines had no first grade games. Dane Laurie had no first grade game. Stephen Crichton was his first football. This is a problem we're not going to have as much. We've got, even in the forwards, you've got Eisenhuth and Sorensen who, if you really need them to, they can fill in the middle or throw them on an edge, and guys like Martin can then go into the middle. So while we've lost a bit, we're a lot more well-rounded now, and Charlie Staines on the edge, as I was saying about the balance, is it gives you more of an attacking option on that right-hand side. If you go back and watch our games, our attack quite often would kind of stall at the second row. So Martin, with Capewell being injured last year, was that right second row outside Cleary, and quite often the attack would stall at Martin. And when Charlie Staines is on there, no surprise he scored some tries. That extra speed gives Nathan options. If you have either Momorowski or Naden in that right centre position, and then Staines outside them, you now have an attacking left edge and an attacking right edge. Compared to last year, which not much the case. I mean, the Storm could basically defend 3/4 of our attacking line, because they didn't really need to do much on that right-hand edge until Naden came on, which is when the score shifted. We started getting momentum.
And they've lost Trent Barrett, as you said. Is their attack going to suffer?
Yeah.
As teams figured out how to play against someone like Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I think Jerome Luai is a good player. I don't really like. He's a good character in the game, who I don't like.
Yeah.
But it's good that I don't like him because
I've seen a lot of people say this. Is it people think he's a grub? Is that where we're at? I don't know. He's very flamboyant, so maybe that's it. It just stands out and people are like, oh, that guy. I have to ask around and see what actually people think.
Because we need people that we hate in the game. We need people we love in the game. You need, you know.
Very cool.
So, I think they may have figured him out, and they lost James Tarmo. I think that's huge.
Massive loss.
You know, and we seen where they were the year before as well, and they weren't that good.
Yeah.
So it's just how much have they retained from Trent? Was Trent Barrett the mastermind behind it? It looked like he was coaching for most of the season.
Yeah.
In the box.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think? Like,
Yes and no. I mean, obviously he was a big reason for improvement in attack, but it's not as though they're going to get to this year and then just forget what he taught them. I mean, players are going to play under multiple coaches throughout their career. It doesn't matter who they are. They've got to take on the information, improve their game, evolve their game, and keep going. How it works. If a team expects a single coach to go through their whole career at Penrith, that's what's going to get them success. Well, they're in for a rude shock, and we're not going to be very good. He did a lot of work with the halves, for example. Well, it's not as though Nathan Cleary and Jerome Luai are just going to be like, oh, what is this contraption? Oh, it's a football. Oh, well, I guess we've got to relearn how to play the game now. It's how it's going to work.
Cleary was like up the back having a drink
Definitely.
for a lot of it. So
definitely.
And how much of those? How much do they play on from last year? And how much have they can they change their game into a bit where people haven't figured them out again?
Yeah, that's the big question, mate.
So
I do agree.
They could definitely be higher. Like, I'm not saying they can't be high. They definitely can be.
Yep.
But I just think, like, with teams trying to figure them out, with Trent Barrett loss, I'm not sure they're going to be as good at an attack last year.
Yeah.
As they were last year.
Yeah. No, great point you raised, mate.
The big one is, everyone said, the hunter becomes the hunted, and that's how it is. Don't become minor premiers and then have everyone just sleeping on you again. That's going to be the big, more so than anything. The team will come in being like they are. It's a matter of whether they can evolve slightly. Doesn't need to be much. This is where I think that right-hand attack will help. The longer can you load up against our left edge, you're going to have to watch out for Staines' side of the field. You know, people have been saying for years, look out for Charlie Staines. He's going to come in and take over someone's the team. He's got the skills of a fullback and is the fastest player of the club. So now Nathan Cleary actually has options on his right side now. So when he plays that side of the field, no longer will you be able to load up on Nathan and Martin or Catewell, depending on who they start there.
But they're a great side. Last year, what they did, my God, I thought the first probably 6 weeks, I didn't really see the Penrith that we did see in the back end. I was like, oh, they're just travelling okay.
Yeah.
But then, they just exploded. And
he's right. Go back and watch the start of the season. Yeah, have the inclination. Those first couple of games, especially the Dragons game round 2, that was messy. That you wouldn't have picked the end of the season based on that game. After they came back from the COVID break, we know they worked very hard to keep their fitness and everything through there, and that's probably what benefited us probably the most, if we're really being honest about it. Is the fact that they went to great lengths to get their fitness up during that COVID break, which benefited the defense a lot. Averaged 14 or less points a game in defense. I think that's a big factor in our success. So Hayden Knowles and the team there deserve a lot of credit.
And
absolutely.
The way they would suffocate teams, they were just really, really good, but very big questions. I still got them second.
Yep, they're still young, so they could be improving even more. So, but again,
and that's the other thing is we were the second youngest team in the comp last year. It's not like we've got an aging roster where you're looking at the Roosters. I saw a headline. I didn't really go into it. I'll have to have a look. They are getting a bit older now. Whereas our guys, like I said, Stephen Crichton was in his first proper year of football last year. He now looks fitter and stronger this year. So then how does his game improve? You know, Brian Toto got injured for a large chunk of last year, so now he can get into a rhythm again.
It's just about how much they've evolved their game, because teams will be coming after them.
Yeah.
So Toby got him second. I've got him 7th. What do you guys think, though? Do you think they can go one step further and win it this year? Will they be minor premiers again, or will they bit below what they were last year, and possibly out of the 8? But I'm pretty sure we'll both see them in the 8. But let us know what you think in the comments.
My honest opinion is watch out for South. That's my big worry. And as long as injuries don't hit them, I think the Raiders will be better than people are expecting. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I'm saying top 4. Top 4 for me, obviously, being my team. But my big concern is South. I think they're going to be the team to beat this year, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Go subscribe to them and watch their stuff. I said I'm subscribed to them. I really like their stuff. It's pretty good. So anyway, have a good one.